Hello gentlemen, I've got a kit review for you now, and I said hello gentlemen, hello gentlemen, it's me again, your old mate Ryan Luscombe, SteamFan61, or AKA as most of you know me now, Ryan Luscombe, and I've got a kit review for you now. I've got a kit review for you now, which is going to be my next build, and that is the I've got a kit review for you now. But I'm not gonna. I see most of you know what it's going to be, but before it's a review for you on my 1/24 scale p-51d North American Aviation p-51d /K Mustang Mark 4A. Before I do the actual review of it, just going to do the quick business of do the usual business of shout outs, and then of course I will get on with the review. I'll get on with the review. So, usual business of shout outs to Model Pro 72 Lenny, Basic Modelling Rob, Aaron Newlands, Atomic Dog 32, Brian, Alex Modelling, Cledo 1 Lewis, Making Model Again Gary, Shane Highland, Armor Empire Mark, Nigel Wells, Cohen C, Warren Blanche, Waterloo 745, John, Lon 757 Pete, Daz Guy and Spartek, RASDV, Callum Wilding, Marshall HQ, Dead Ram, Tom, Mr. Z Kits, AZ Kits, Andrew Coins, Andy Model, Airfix Street, Mr. Mosquito WS, Trainboy 220, Golden Eagle, Cool Fan JU, Child Modeler, Crazy Kit Builder, Crazy Modeler, Hobby Modeler, UK Scale Modeler, Mr. Great Models. Do looking forward to your next video. Paul Marsh, Engineering Dartside, Musvivi, Paul Marsh, Engineering Dartside, Musvivi, Stephen M, Dan Ely Modelling, Panziaga, Peter, Panziaga. While I'm doing the shout outs, question for you. Could you well, actually it's a request sort of thing. Could you please PM me your email, because I've, as you now know, I finished my anti-tank gun group build, my entries for your anti-tank gun, bro, and I'm just waiting on your I'm just waiting for you to PM me your email address so I can get the pictures to you. So if you could do that, that'd be grand. I'll be truly grateful of that. So Panziaga, Stuart Avery, Ramblers 69 Tom, and every single one of you. And I gentlemen, it's a shout out. Basically, gents, it's a shout out to every single one of my 260 subscribers that have taken time to subscribe to me. Not only subscribe to me, but to like my videos, comment on my videos, and generally support me. Help, and generally to all of you supported me and my channel, supported me throughout my mod, given me feedback on all my builds, and supported my channel at the same time. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Thanks very much, YouTube gentlemen that are all my subscribers on YouTube. Right, enough of that. Anyway, Facebook shouts to Dan, Max, Dan, Marin, Ellie, Media, Kelsey, Kira, Chloe, Mum, Hayley, Billy, June, Greg, Lynn, June, Greg, Lynn, Lenny, Ashley, Alex, Andrew, Gavin, George, Tom, Tristan, John, Joe, Sam, Caroline, Luke, Lisa, Lucy, Louis, Debbie, Diggs, Nan, miss you, Nico and Charlotte, speak to you soon, see you Eastbourne Airborne in summer. Right, gentlemen, as you know, you've seen in the ad, so gentlemen, now it's time for my review. Well, the kit in question is going to be my next build, and it's going to be this. It is, of course, as you've seen in my last video, my Airfix. Bloody hell, excuse my French, gentlemen, I don't know how I'm going to do this. As you can see, gentlemen, if you can still hear me, it is this. It is my Airfix 124 scale p-51 124 scale North American Aviation p-51d /K Mustang Mark 4A. Right, box art. You got box. So start off with the box. Nice box art. You've got a pair of Mustangs in Royal Air Force bare metal finish livery, attacking some columns, attacking some shipping, probably German fitting, and you've got probably German attacking some German shipping, and you've got a bow fighter in the background there. Bottom of the box, you've got the thing. You got the box there. You got that. You got the Mustang that's on the front of the box, and you've got the 4 options, which you get one American, one US Air Force option, one Royal Air Force option, one Royal Australian Air Force option, and one Royal Canadian Air Force option. And on the side of the box, you've got that. On the side of and on the top of the on the top of the box, you've got basically the history. You've got basically the history of the Mustang, the paints, and you've got the 4 options. Yeah, you've got the history of the Mustang, brief history of the Mustang, the 4 options and the paint numbers, the list of the 4 options and the actual side profiles of the options there. So, right, what do you get? So you're probably wondering what you get in this mammoth kit. Right, I'll show you. Box lid. Flatten that, I think. Protective cardboard. Right, first thing is you get your instruction booklet. You get your instruction booklet. Basic. So on you get your Airfix. You've got on the instruction booklet you've got the Airfix logo. This kit is from 2005, hence why the black and white Airfix logo. You got the 124th construction kit, the kit serial number, and then of course you've got the name of the kit, the actual aircraft it is, and that being the Mustang. And then of course you've got the history of the Mustang in English, French and German. In English, French and German. And then whatever E is and S is, and whatever E is, and then S is probably Spanish. And then you've got safety information in French, in English, French, German, E, Spanish, Italian, Netherlands, probably whatever DK is, Portuguese, South African, Polish, and Russian. And you've got assembly notifications. your assembly notifications. You got assembly notifications there, and then this gentleman is a 1. This is a stage. This kit is from from stage 1 to 24 stage kit subassembly. This is a 24 subassembly kit. This kit consists of 24 subassemblies, and what I'll do through you now, and then what I'm going to, and as you, those of you who are so for those of you who are new to my channel and are about to watch this review, what I do is I go through every assembly with you, so that if you buy the kit, you know what you're in for. But also it helps me revise what I'm in for as well. What I'm going to be doing, what stages I'm going to be doing in terms of what I'm going to be building for, how many stages I'll build, how many sub-assemblies as a kit I'll build before I do the first update on the kit, sort of thing. Before I do the first progress update, sort of thing. Those of you who've been subscribed to me will know that I go through each sub-assembly with you guys. So, gentlemen, your first 3 stages concentrate on the construction of the Merlin engine. So stage 1 is the beginning. Stage 1 is the beginning of the engine construction. So stage 1 to 3 is the Merlin engine construction. So you've got stage 1, which is basically the cylinder block, the oil sump, the supercharger, what looks to be the oil pump, the starter motor, probably the fuel pump filter there, the ignition wires, and the magnetos. Stage 2 of the engine construction is part 28, which is basically the center section of the engine, which is basically got wiring, and conforms the V, like the 2, and basically completes the 2 V12 cylinder blocks, the two sets of 6 cylinders, because obviously this is a V12 engine. And then you've got the supercharger, the propeller, and the exhausts, the propeller and the propeller locking nut, and the exhaust manifold. Then stage 3 is finishing the engine assembly. For that you add the coolant storage tank, the coolant pipes, and the mounting frame, and the mounting frame for the engine. You also add the rocker covers, the cam covers, the open and close the inlet valve, the inlet valves, and the exhaust valves. Then stage 4 is the cockpit. Stage 4 is the cockpit, so you basically put the rudder pedal, the control column, the seat onto the cockpit floor, and you've also got the option of the pilot also on stage 4. Stage 5 you put the cockpit. You put the cockpit in. You put the cockpit sidewall. You put one of the two cockpit sidewalls into the fuselage. You also put the radiator into the fuselage, the instrument panel, the instrument panel, and the instrument panel and gun sight, the engine firewall, and the oil, and by the looks of things, the coolant, the oil and by the looks of things, you also put in the oil. You put in the oil tank, and you put the oil tank on onto the bulkhead, which has, by the looks of things, 2 decals. I'll have to check that though, I'll have to check that though about 64, parts 64 and 65, gentlemen. And then sub-assembly 6, you put the radio boxes and the radio box and the frame that the radio boxes go onto, and the radio boxes go onto, into the inside the fuselage. Stage 7, you put the aft tank on, and its mounting frame. Stage 6, that's stage 6 rather. So stage 6, you put the radio batteries, the radio boxes on, and the its mounting frame, and its holding frame rather. Stage 6 is the aft tank and its holding frame, and whatever part 74 is, it's part. I think it's something to do with the oil, not the you know, the temperature, you know, the door that comes down at the rear of the radiator, gentlemen. Alright, just clearing my eyes of debris. Stage 7, you put the tail wheel together. Stage 8, you put the tail wheel doors together. Stage 8, you put the tail wheel doors together. Stage 9, you put the tail wheel door. Stage 8 and 9, you put the two tail wheel doors together. Stage 10, you put the rudder together. Stage 11, you put the opening and closing mechanism for the radiator temperature for the radiator flap, open for the radiator door, for the radiator for the rear radiator thing bit at the bottom together. You put the actual, and then you put the actual radiator door, the actual radiator, the thing that basically what I'm describing is on the Mustang, as you know, gentlemen, on the P-51 Mustang, there's, I think it's a flap that on the rear, towards the rear of the fuselage, on the underside, there's a little flap that opens and closes, that basically controls the temperature, of the radiator of the Mustang's radiator, of the coolant that controls the coolant that's going through the Mustang's radiator. Yeah, where was I? So yeah, stage 12 is that flap, which is that piece there. Stage 13 is an optional stage, but it's going to be it's an optional stage, but it's going to be a critical stage to the Mustang I'm going to be building, to the option I'm going to be picking, and that is the photo reconnaissance camera in the photo reconnaissance camera in the bottom of the Mustang, the photo reconnaissance camera. So that's stage 13, optional if you're not, it's an optional stage, but if you build, I'm going to be building the North Korean option, so I'm the Korean War option, so I'm going to be building, so that's going to be a stage. And then stage 14, you put in the side the starboard side console, the radiator, the two radiator flaps, the tail wheel door, the tail wheel itself, and the rudder, and then the controlling mechanism for the radiator flap, and then of course you put this top bracing part here, the coolant, the radiator doors there, tail wheel there, and there, and of course you also install the engine. Now it does. Now this I will be taking note of, gentlemen. It says position engine assembly into starboard side of fuselage, starboard side of fuselage. Do not cement. After completing the assembly of parts into the fuselage, The interior, in the fuselage interior, cement port and starboard cement port and starboard fuselage halves together before cementing cowling covers. Before cementing engine cowling before cementing engine assembly into position, it's suggested that the engine cowling covers, part 223 and 224, are placed in their correct positions, thus aligning the engine exhaust manifolds correctly. So there you have it. Put the engine in, but make sure when you put the engine in, you got to put the engine exhaust, the engine cowling covers in, just to make sure everything is lined up. So yeah, that's stage. So yeah, that's stage 14. Stage 15 is the Stage 15 concentrates on the elevators, concentrates on the horizontal stabilizers on the elevators. Stage 16 concentrates on the Stage 16 and 17 concentrates on the main landing gear Stage 18 concentrates on the main landing gear wheel door, main wheel fairing door, the main landing gear fairing door, hinges assembly, and hinges and housing assembly. Then stage 19 is the wings. For that you put the landing gear in, the fairing doors, the ailerons, the machine guns, the ammunition feeds, and the identification lights. And then it also says, do not forget to drill holes. And it says optional drill holes for the underwing armament, and then that's the underwing armament, and then it shows the underwing armament on there. Now there's one thing I did forget to show you, and that is because I'm doing the tactical reconnaissance squadron variant. It also shows there. See there, there's it's pointing 246. Basically, I'm going to be cutting that bit of the fuselage to allow for part 246 to allow part 4 to allow for part 246 to go in, which is basically a camera lens. It's basically a camera lens, gentlemen. There. So then go back to where we were. So then stage is 21. Stage 20 is the drop tanks, which I'm not going to be doing. Or I'm going to be concentrating on stages. The variant I'm going to be the option I'm going to be doing. I'm going to have six of the rockets, which so I'm going to be building 6, not 8, and then the 2 bombs. So the rockets and bombs, and then stage 27. Stage 27 is the stage 27 is fitting of the wing to the Mustang and the weapons, and then stage 24 you add the engine stage 24 you add the engine cowlings, the canopy, the engine cowlings, the canopy, the engine cowlings, the canopy and the gun covers, and then you've got, and then this is just base, and then the last four pages are basically the decal placement instructions for the decal placement guide for the 4 options. Now I'm going to go through what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go through the options with you, the 4 options with you, because you get it on a colour sheet. Your first option is this one, North American Aviation P-51K Mustang Foal Mark 4A, number 19 squad of 19 Squadron, Royal Air Force Aucklandton, UK, 1945, flown by Flight Lieutenant A.S. Dooley, and I think this one's nicknamed the Dooley Bird. This particular Mustang is nicknamed Dooley Bird. Then the second option is North American P-51K Mustang Mark 4A of number 3 Squadron, Royal Australian Air Force, Foggia, Italy, early 1945, flown by Flight Lieutenant A.F. Lane, DFC, Distinguished Flying Cross. And then the final 2 options are North American RF-51D Mustang, 45th Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron, United States Air Force, Kempo Airfield, Korea, 1951. And then the final option you get is this one, the North American P-51D Mustang of number 402, City of Winnipeg Auxiliary Squadron, Royal Canadian Air Force, Canada, Winnipeg, Canada, 1950. Now you're probably wondering what option I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing that option. It's the option I've decided that I want to do. That I'm going to be the option I'm going to be finishing in. It's going to be the option I'm going to be going for is that one. Is this one? North American Aviation RF-51K Mustang, RF-51D Mustang, 45th Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron, 45th Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron, USF Air Force Camp, United States Air Force Kempo Airfield, North Korea, 1951. Now I'm going to be depicting that Mustang, but with a few changes. All right, with a few changes. The first change I will be making, gentlemen, is as you can see on the top view of the Mustang, it says paint the anti-glare panel olive drab. Now, by 1951, gentlemen, the United States Air Force, by that time, the United States Army had changed. Obviously, the United States Air Force and Army have parted ways, and everything was designated fighter. And as part of the fighter designation, the anti-glare panel, being the top cowling, being the top engine cowling, was changed from olive drab to black. So I'm going to be painting that top panel black. I'm going to be painting that top panel black as it should be. Now the only other change I'm going to be making to this is, you see it as because this is the color decal. This is the decal color guide. But you see the decal that says Tilly, Scatty and question mark. I'm not going to be putting that decal on. What I'm going to be doing, gents, is I'm going to be painting it in this option, but I'm going to be changing the Tilly and Scatty and to Teresa Valerie. The reason being is because Teresa. Now you're probably wondering who on earth is Now, why, you know, you're probably wondering why on earth is Steam Fan 61 changing it to Tilly and Scatyan to Teresa Valerie. The reason why is Teresa Valerie was the name of my Teresa Valerie was my nan, was the name of my nan who sadly passed away last year. As you all know, as I informed you all, my nan passed away last year. So this Mustang, gentlemen, is going to be built in a dedicated memory of her, of my nan. I've decided to build this in dedicated memory of my nan. It's also, you know, for me, it's going to be in love. And then when it's finished, it's going to be, it's going to be a dedicated memory build to my nan, to my nan, and also it's going to be in a loving memory build to my nan as well. So that's the exclamation for the changes. All right. Right. So I suppose what you'll get. So what do you get kit wise? You get one. You kit. So what? So you're wondering how many? What you get sprues wise? You get the kit. So the kit comes on 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sprues. It comes on 8 sprues. So that's 8 sprues. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grey plastic screws and two clear ones. And as you saw from the sprues and in the box, you've got a lot of bits that fell off, such as, and you have gotten, and because of the way this kit was when I purchased it from the retailer, from the model shop retailer that was in Herne Bay, that's now gone. Where it was in Herne Bay, where I've now gone. That's now gone. Quite a few bits have fallen off the sprue, but the bits that have fallen off the sprue are in the box, so I haven't got to worry about that. So on this sprue, as you can see, you've got quite a few bits coming off. As you can see on this sprue, quite a few bits have come off, but all sorts of bits. You've got parts for you've got the top cowling cover parts. You've got parts for the propeller, parts for the coolant tank for the Merlin engine, the landing gear, the bracing frames for the radio, the oil stacks, top part for the Merlin engine. I think the seat, bits for the seat. The other bits come off. You've got the rear landing gear doors, the rear landing gear. You got the landing gear door locking bars, locking like the housings, the locking housings. Bits for the part for the Merlin the starter motor for the Merlin engine. The bits for the radiator temperature controlling system. The landing gear legs. The parts for the rockets. The ground attack rockets. Fuse part a bit there for the a bit there for the the supercharger intercooler. Bit for the inside of the Merlin engine there. Radiator. The streamlining scoop for the very front of the radiator. Radiator there. Radio box, cowling there, fins for the bombs and the rockets, which some of them are falling off, bomb pylons, pilot arm, bit for the Mustang canopy, for the Mustang's canopy frame, bit of the pilot, the other half is in the box. You got the rocker covers for the Merlin engine, you got the rudder pedals. Got the gun covers, the canopy frame, one of the many aileron pieces, and the oil sump, there, and of course you've got the port and rear. You've got the port and starboard. You've got the I think you've got the starboard fuselage half here. My thoughts on it. Very nicely, nicely detailed on things like the engine, nicely detailed in terms of pipes and wiring on the engine and bolt heads on the engine components. The internal front, the internal components are nicely detailed, like things like rivets and things like that. Yeah, you got really nice detail. You've got, it's about, it's slowly but surely coming off, but you got nice detail on the control console on this sprue. Yeah, you got nice detail on that sprue. So that's that sprue. Second of the plastic sprues. Second sprue of the plastic sprues. Second sprues of the plastic sprues. You've got bits for the wheels. Bits for the wheels. You got bits for the wheels. Bits for the fuel tank. The rear fuel tank. You got the propeller locking nut there. You got that component there and there, whatever that's for. You've got the cockpit floor there. You've got the bit for the fuel tank, the radio mast, the oil, the very front of the radiator, the very front of the radiator, oil cooler assembly, gun covers, more rockets, the top part of the engine brace, the back of the bit, this component here where the rear fuel tank goes onto. You got two bomb halves here. The other two halves have fallen off. The other half, there's another half that's fallen off. You got two bomb halves. You got two bomb halves here. The other fallen off. You got a bit for the stand. You got the rear bit of the radiator there. You got a bomb half there. You got the aft fuel tank there. you've got the side cowling cover, the side engine cowling covers there, and then you've got more bits. And you've got more bits for the cockpit and engine. You've got bits for the cockpit and the wheel. Bits for the cockpit, and you got bits for the cockpit and landing gear and tail wheel and you've even bits for the cockpit and landing gear, and you've even got bits for the landing gear, exhaust manifolds, and of course the main. And then of course you've got bits for the Merlin engine. You've got the cylinder blocks there. You've got the rear end of the supercharger there. Bit of the supercharger there. Something was meant to be there, but I think that's what was meant to be there was the propeller gearbox. You've got the oil tank there. You've got more bits for the supercharger. You've got the supercharger intercooler. You've got another bit for the Merlin engine. There. So yeah, that's the second sprue. Again, nice detail on things like the engine and cockpit pieces. And of course, I didn't show. And then of course you've got nice detail, nice external panel line and rivet detail on the fuselage half. On the inside of the fuselage, the inside of the fuselage is completely bare. It's got some ribbing, but where the cockpit is, it's completely bare. That's because you've got the side. That's because the side console, gents, goes in there, and then of course you've got the ribbing, and you've got various ribbing and rivet details where the engine compartment, in the engine compartment. So that's the other. So that's the second. So that's the second sprue. That's the second sprue, gents. And I'll just show you the inside. I'll just quickly show you the inside of the. I'll just quickly show you the inside of the first fuselage, the inside of the other fuselage half. Again, nice ribbing on the inside. Barren for where the cockpit is. Barren where the cockpit console is, and then also you've got bits for the Merlin, and then of course you've got detail for the Merlin compartment. And on the outside of the aircraft, you've got lovely rivet detail and panel line detail. Okay. Right. Third sprue. As you can see, this sprue concentrates on your main wings, on your two upper main on your two halves of the two halves of the upper wing, As you can see, there's really decent panel line. Stop glaring, you git. Not you, gents, the kit part. As you can see, there's really nice panel line detail on the wings. There's really, I mean, you're not going to see it very well, but take my word for it, gent. There's really nice panel line detail on the wings, rivet detail, crisp panel line detail, crisp rivet detail on areas like the flaps, this part of the wing here prior to the guns, this wing here prior to the guns, prior to the gun bay, and you even got rivets around the fuel tank filler caps, there and there. cool. You can tell, and not that you're going to see it, but just so you know, gents, this is an Airfix product. This kit is the Mustang is this was molded. The Mustang was originally molded in 1972, so it's not a brand new kit. It's quite an old kit, but even with old kits, you can turn them around. You can breathe new life into them. You can breathe new life into them, as Panzerman Bunker Bill pointed out on my final review of my Chieftain. Thanks for your comment, Bill. By the way, I know I should have done it in the shout outs, but I'm going to do it now anyway. So there, that's that's the top side of the wing. That's the top side of the wing. They're the top wings. There and there. Right. Then you've got the. And then of course on this sprue you've got the underside. On this sprue you've got the underside of the wing, which is one. You've got the lower wing, which is one complete bit. Again, like the top wing. Not that you're going to see it very well. You've got lovely panel. You've got lovely panel line You've got really nice panel line detail. Really nice panel line detail on the underside of the wing. Really crisply done rivet detail as well. You've got a mixture of raised and recessed panel lines on the underside. On the underside of the fuselage section, on the fuselage section, on the undersection of the fuselage bit, which is there. You got a mixture of raised. The majority of the wing is all recessed panel lines. However, gentlemen, there are raised panel lines. The raised panel lines being there, and there's a few raised panel lines on the center section of the fuselage there. So I'm just going to give you a quick I'll give you a quick look of a few more minutes off the wing. A few more minutes of the wings. Right, now I'm going to show you the second to last sprue. The reason I say it's second to last is because well, you'll find that out in a minute after I've done it. Right, on this sprue is mainly concerned on this sprue you've got the horizontal stabilizers, or on this sprue you've got the horizontal stabilizers and the elevators. You've got the other halves for the rockets. You've got piping for the engine. You've got piping for the engine. You've got piping for the engine. You've got the machine guns. You've got the 6 machine guns, the other rockets, bit there. I think that bit there is for the radiator flap thing. You've got the other horizontal stabilizers there. You've got the ailerons there. You've got the back. You've got the firewall there. You've got the instrument panel, the horizontal stabilizers. You've got the rudder, the drop tanks, the engine, the engine rest, the bit of the Mustang that the Merlin engine rests on, the tail wheel doors, and you've got the Hamilton cuffed propeller, and you've got a couple of bits come loose. You've got the landing gear legs here, the radiator flap there, and you've got the fairing doors there. And I'll change the side so you can see. And on that side, you've got the gun. On this side, and the reason I've turned it is because you've got detail. You've got some detail on the fairing doors. You've got the radiator. You've got detail on there, and of course you've got the 50 caliber the 50 caliber rounds with their links on, with all linked on the ammunition feeds. You've got the ribbing. You've got ribbing on the engine resting thing. You've got, and then of course you've got the instrument panel, the firewall, and then you've got the Browning machine guns. You've got the Browning machine guns, which have got the cooling, cooling jacket, which has got the cooling jacket, holes, the holes for the preparation. It's got the perforations in the barrel for the cooling in the barrels for the cooling jackets, for the cooling jacket of the gun. So that's the armament sprue, as I call it. Stop rattling, fuel tank, you're on a video. So yeah, that's the armament sprue and some of the fuselage half sprue. So now the only final sprue really, plastic, in terms of grey plasticky plastic grey plastic wise, is this sprue. Now this sprue has the alternative parts for both. This sprue here, gent, mainly consists of the alternative parts for the mainly the alternative parts for the Royal Air Force and the Royal Australian Air Force option, with the Aero Products propeller and these coverings for the two vents on the engine, for the two vents on the lower halves of the engine cowling. You've also got the photo. You've also got this bit here, which is the component for the, which is basically it's the bottom of the Mustang, but it's got the hole in it for the photo reconnaissance camera. You've got the door there. You've got a bit for the photo reconnaissance camera there. I think there's another bit there, and then you've got for the North Korea, for the tactical reconnaissance squadron option, which is the North Korea one. You've got the for the Korean War option one. You've got the Hamilton standard uncuffed propeller, which is there and there. Right, so that's the H sprue. Now the other sprues. Now the only other sprues that cut, and then of course you've got your standard. You've got your standards. You've got your and then of course you've got your clear sprue. Then of course you've got your clear bits. You've got your clear bits. You've got your clear bits there. You've got your clear sprue here. This is for the this is the default. This is the standard sprue that comes with. As you can see, you've got a couple of bits have come off. A couple of bits have come off. That I can't do much about because of the way it was packed. But you've got the instrument. You've got the clear piece of the instrument panel. You've got the identification lights. You've got a few lights there. I think that is for the. I think that's that lens. I think that lens is for the photo reconnaissance option. I'll have to check that though. I think that lens is for the photo reconnaissance option. I'll have to check with that. About that. That lens is. Don't forget, there's I think one of these lenses is for the. One of these clear part lenses, gents, is for the the landing light. Yeah. And then you've got the. And then here you have got the north. Here you've got the north. There you've got. Here you've got the Korean War camera clear part. North Korea, the Korean War, the clear bits for the Korean War reconnaissance, tactical reconnaissance Mustang, which is that part there, and that part there, and then you've got the canopy, which is there. And then you've got the canopy, which is there. And you got the canopy, which is there, and then then you've got, of course, as with all 124, as with all Airfix 124 scale kits, you've got the, as with all 124 scale Airfix kits prior to the Hawker Typhoon 1B, you've got the usual vinyl rubber. You've got the usual. You've got the rubber tires. Some people like some people like, you know, the people, you know, I know there's a few. I mean, some modelers in our community, gents, like them. Others absolutely detest them. I like them because I like the rubber tires because they give it looks more realistic on the model, because at the end of the day, if you look at a full size aircraft, the tire on the wheel is no different from the 124 scale model, the Airfix 124 scale models that Airfix offer, which is basically that. Now the only thing that I do give it to, the only thing I do with these to make it, to give the tyre a more realistic look, is I actually paint the rubber tyres matte black to give them that worn mattish finish that rubber gets when it's actually been in contact. When it's actually been in contact with multiple surfaces for a while. So you've got the main tyres there and there, and then you've got the main tyre. You've got the main wheel tyre, the main tyres there. Nice tread on them. You've got the grooves. You've got the grooves of the tread on the tyre, so nice detail work. And I think, not that you can see it very well, but you've actually got you've actually got the tyre manufacturer as well on the inscription, the tyre manufacturer's inscripted as well, which is Philistone. You're not going to see it very well, but it says Philistone on the tyre, which is, I should imagine, Philistone were contracted to do the tyres for the p-51d Mustang. And then you've got the rear, and then of course you've got the rear wheel, and then of course you've got the rear wheel, which is attached to the sprue steel. You've got nice tread on the tread perforations on the tread perforations on the wheel there. So overall, nice kit. I'm really looking forward to building this kit, gents. And then all that's left in the box, gents, is you've got one of the horizontal stabilised halves that have come off there. You've got one of the radio boxes that's come off there. You've got the other half. You've got the other half of the pilot there. You've got a bit of the intercooler. You've got a bit of the intercooler. You've got a bit of the intercooler of the supercharger intercooler there. You've got this. You've got this component here, which is basically you got this component here, which is you got this component here, which is basically for the basically if you want to pose the aircraft, but with the exhaust stacks in, but without the engine, but if you want to expose the aircraft, but with the engine on the outside, but with the engine outside the aircraft. And then you've got a bit of one of the bombs there. You've got the other option for the underside of the airframe there. You've got the pilot's seat there, and then you've got a rocket. You've got a bomb head. You've got a bomb head that you got the fins for the. You've got a fin for one, and then here, and then you've got fins for the rocket. You've got two fins for the rockets here, and then the only other, and then this bit here is the propeller gearbox for the Merlin engine. For the Merlin engine there. You've got one of the beginning half section. You've got the beginning half. You've got half of the beginning section of the supercharger there. And then of course you've got another bit, and then you've got a bit of the supercharger, and then of course you've got a bit of the supercharger here. Again, it's got nice detail on it, nice bolt detail and cast detail and things like that, and nice cast detail, yeah. Now, if you're wondering why I'm being a bit speedy with showing you the parts, gents, is purely because it's 104, and I don't tend to do really long videos, but when it comes to reviews like this, they tend to be long because I want to cover all the kit. So yeah, that's the last bit. So yeah, so now, gents, I've got I've got to cover all this up. I've got to get this all back up in less than that. So yeah, So yeah, I'll give you a quick look of each sprue as I put it back in the box. So that, and yeah, that's the North Korean sprues all bagged. Oh, that's the optional parts all bagged up there, gents. And that are the claw sprues. Now, before I close up shop for this video, so to speak, there are your decals. You've got your, so in no particular, so just so briefly, there are your decals, gents. You've got your Royal Air Force Dooley Bird option there. You've got your another 3 Squadron RAAF there. Your Canadian Air Force option there. And then you've got your common to RAF and RAAF, and then you've got your 45th Tactical Reconnaissance Squadron USAF version, which is all there. And then you've got your common, and then you've got your stencil, which are based, and then you've got your common to all variants, which are all versions, which are basically your stencils there. So that's your decals. That's the decals, gents. So that's the decals, gentlemen. So now you've seen the decals. Now I'm going to close the box up, and then I'll then you've got your colour guide. And then you've got, the last thing, certainly not least, you've got your instructions. Carport protection, flattened and well and truly worn box lid, right. So gentlemen, that was my, oops, I can sense things going poodle dadly. So gentlemen, that was my review of my, p-51d Mustang. So that was my review of my Airfix 124 scale p-51d P50 North American Aviation Airfix 124 scale North American Aviation P51d/K Mustang Mark IV. I hope you liked it. I hope you liked the review. Hope you guys liked the review. And as I said, this is going to be a build that's going to be dedicated to the memory of my nan that passed away, who sadly passed away last year, last November, who passed away November last year. So it's going to be a dedicated memory. It's going to be a build in dedicated memory to her, to my nan, and it's also going to be a loving and memory build to my nan as well. So yeah, that's review. That was the that's the review, gents. So hope you liked it. And then one last look at the box. So as always, that was the review. So that was my review. So yeah, gents, that's my review of my Mustang. That was a review of my Mustang. And before I go, as always, paint your hands and face, glue on your hands and face. Don't annoy parents, be careful of them, have fun, stay safe, be happy, have fun, enjoy modelling, and until the first update, until the first update video on the Mustang, which I don't know when it'll be. Thank you for watching the review. Thank you for watching this video, which is the review of it, and I'll see you guys. And I will see you guys on the first update video. And I'll see you guys on the update. So before I go, thank you. Before I actually cut the video, once again, thank you. So yes, I'll see you guys on the update. And so before I go, and so yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video, gents. So thanks for watching. Thank you for watching, gents. And thanks for watching, gents. And I'll see you guys on the next video. All right. Bye. All right. Thank you. See you guys. Thanks for watching, gents. See you guys on the next video. I'm sorry this video was a rather long one, but obviously I wanted to get everything. So once again, thank you for watching, gents, and I'll see you guys on the next video. All right. Alright, bye gentlemen. Alright, thanks for watching, gents. Bye gents, bye gentlemen. Bye gents, bye gentlemen. Bye, bye. Bye gents, bye gentlemen. Bye. Bye gents.